Welcome to the Peak District, a rugged and enchanting landscape nestled in the heart of England. It's a realm of rolling hills, dramatic cliffs, and ancient marshlands that stretch out as far as the eye can see. Join me today as I embark on a 2-day journey into the heart of the Peak District to reach the iconic Kinderskout, one of the highest points in the region, and spend a night under the star-studded sky. Get ready for breathtaking landscapes, winding trails, and the thrill of wild camping amidst nature's magnificence. And that's not all. Tomorrow we'll be passing by a mesmerizing waterfall that promises to leave you in awe. So let's lace up those hiking boots and head off. The adventure begins in the picturesque village of Edale, and at the edge of town the trail into the mountains begin. And man, once you start this trail, it's like you're completely surrounded by just wild nature and beauty. Got some sheep grazing over there and some mountains. It's just so beautiful, so peaceful already. It just feels amazing to be back out in the wild, get away from the city, get away from everything where there's no signal, and have a cool adventure. So let's go. As I hiked through the fields of sheep, I quickly became surrounded by such beautiful views, and I could really understand why this place is so popular. The first section was pretty steep, so it wasn't long before I had to stop for a little break and catch my breath and look out into the distance. In typical English fashion, it's rainy and cloudy, but I mean it's still so enjoyable out here, even though I'm getting a bit wet. But clearly it was raining lots this morning because all the paths are really flooded with water, and it's quite difficult to trek up, slipping and sliding in the mud. But at the moment, there's maybe a glimpse that things could get better and the sun could come out. And every time I check the weather, it says like, oh, it stops raining this hour, and then when I check it again, it's like, oh, it stops raining next hour, which is quite funny. It doesn't want to make up its mind, but so incredible. Heading up over that peak in a minute on our way to Kinderskout. The clouds have come in really thick right now, and almost all the view's gone, and we're going up to one of the summits. I'm not 100% sure what the name of it is, but it's en route to Kinderskout. And yeah, as you can see, really cloudy, getting a bit windy, but luckily it's not too cold yet. I mean, considering it's October, I'm hiking in a t-shirt and shorts, so not too bad. On a clear day, you'd be able to see all the way over there and see the lovely mountains and valleys beneath us. But today, just lovely white clouds. Oh well, that's the way the cookie crumbled. I can do about it. Can't complain about the weather, just enjoy being out here in the nature. And as I carried along the trail, the clouds were coming and going, and so I made sure to enjoy the views when I could. And with all the rain this place had been having, the rivers were pumping with water, which was pretty cool to see as there was loads of mini waterfalls to explore. And as I continued hiking through the clouds, the final push to Kinderskout was through a very wet marshland, which wasn't much fun to hike through. I made it to the summit of Kinderskout, the highest peak in the Peak District. And it's not really much of a peak, it's more like the top of a plateau, shall we say. But yeah, still cool. We're at the top now, so let's find somewhere to pitch our tent for the night and hunker down, eat some food. I'm really getting hungry now, so let's do it. I then headed towards the well-known lower summit of Kinderskout, and after battling through the marsh and the cold weather, I finally found a good spot to pitch my tent. So I found my campsite for tonight. It's got nice, lovely boulders blocking the one side, and it's quite a bit away from the path, so no one can see me and I shouldn't bother anyone at all tonight. Gonna set up the tent now because the rain's starting to come, and then cook some dinner. Alright, camp is all set up Got my tent nice and cozy here behind these rocks, keep it out of the wind for the night, and we're about to get on cracking, cooking some dinner. We've got pasta bolognese and some lovely chicken noodles, which is going to really warm me up because it's starting to get a bit cold up here in the highlands of the Peak District. And dinner is served. Let's give this bad boy a try. Just what the doctor ordered. Lovely and warm. I'm really excited to see this. I'm gonna put the camera down. I'll see you in a minute. I feel so much better after that dinner now. And I'm just chilling now, really enjoying the peace and quiet of being out in the nature by myself, and it's so peaceful right now. The wind's died down a bit and it's just me and my thoughts, which is really nice. It's nice to get some time to disconnect from everything and just take a break from life. I'm gonna sit here for a bit to enjoy the rest of my evening and then head off to bed because it's getting cold and I just want to snuggle up and sleep. Good morning. Last night was super cold, but this morning the sun is out and it's nice and bright and clear, no fog or anything. Really nice. Gonna cook some breakfast now and then head off and explore, see if we can find some cool views whilst the views are clear. Got my camp all packed up. I didn't film much of it because it is bitterly cold this morning, so I just kind of like really rushed to get everything packed away so I can like start moving and warm up a bit. But really beautiful. We can see like the lovely lake down there. Such a nice view, and you can see kind of, probably can't pick it up on the camera, but you can see all the way to Manchester, which is really pretty. Yeah, sun came out a little bit when I was packing up my tent, but it's gone behind the clouds and it looks like it might be a repeat of yesterday with all that horrible fog and whatever. But let's get cracking and enjoy another day out here in the Peak Districts. Moments like these that I was chasing on this trip. Just me, myself, my thoughts. Some beautiful views, surrounded completely by nature. It's really early in the morning still, so there's no other hikers. It's lovely. I was feeling lucky to be having such good weather and being able to enjoy the views around me, and it wasn't long before I arrived at Kinder Downfall, one of the most impressive waterfalls in the area. This thing was way bigger than I had imagined, and you could really see the drop off from the high plateau as well as the sheer size of it. You know, whilst I'm stood here at this breathtaking waterfall, nature just has a wonderful way of showing us its sheer beauty and power. And as I'm completely immersed in this lush green and blue environment, it just reminds me how important the significance of nature and natural beauty is for this world, and we must remember it to protect it at all costs, because you know, how else can you have crazy adventures like this if it's all gone? So next time you come out, be mindful, look after our nature, and let's all enjoy it. I then started to make my way back to Edale, following a river that will take me deep into the marshlands and into a really remote section of the park. You know, when I first came to England, I was never really a fan of like their scenery, and I always think like, oh, people call these mountains and people call this like wild places because it's just like kind of a mossy, you know, boggy type place. But I've actually come to appreciate the real beauty of this place, and stop comparing it to like the big mountains in the Alps. It's like its own unique destination, and I mean, you can't really find this type of terrain anywhere else on Earth. It's really actually quite pleasant when you embrace that and enjoy it. And it's kind of fun hiking through the mud, even if it is super tough and my feet are completely soaked. But yeah, enjoying it and enjoying all of this. Incredible, so beautiful. This is as wild as I've ever felt in the UK. I mean, as far as the eye can see, all around me is just like this marshland. And I'm cutting over the top now, so there's like 2 miles, 3 miles this side, 2 miles, 3 miles this side, to any other path really. And I'm just kind of, it's not really even a path, I'm just kind of waddling my way through the mud and the grass. But it's really cool. I'm really enjoying being completely isolated out here. It's amazing. I'm just taking in that silence, just the wind. Really cool. It's so nice to see some views today compared to yesterday when it was just completely covered in the fog. You can really appreciate the beauty of the Peak District and all the farmers' farms and the lush green fields. You can see all the sheep grazing. It's really nice, really makes your soul feel fresh and happy. I really believe that sometimes all we need is a day or two out in the nature to reconnect with ourselves and the beauty of this world. And I feel like this trip has really done that for me. It's allowed me to be present and enjoy the simplicity of nature. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.